Well, hello there. Welcome back to my BookTube channel, where I'm going to talk about the stuff that I have been doing that is not to do with books. So I'm in Germany for an internship, school reasons. But I just got back from Paris. I didn't take a lot of videos for that, but I did take some. So this video will mostly just be me talking about the artwork that I liked, that I managed to take a picture of. I spent 4.5 hours in the Louvre, mostly because it was so big and I was kind of lost. The map that you get from the info center doesn't have all the rooms on it. It's just a few of the big ones, but they have plaques with all of the rooms on them, so you know where you're going. But I started in the Italian wing. The first, one sec. So it starts with some Botticelli frescoes, which were cool, and then some altarpieces. I think you could call them altarpieces. And then it moves into the more Italian Renaissance, 1500s to 1600s. You go down, you start. Oh, there's some Da Vinci's when you walk in. And that was a big wing. And obviously very popular because the Mona Lisa, it was weird. The Da Vinci's are on when you're walking through from the Winged Victory, go to your right, and that's where the Botticelli is. And then you keep going, then you turn again. What the hell am I talking about? Anyways, so the Italian Renaissance stuff is in there. Mostly Italian. I think it's all Italian. And on your left is some Da Vinci's. Ooh, I liked them. We all know that's my motto. I like them. I liked it. And then what I did is I walked down and looked at everything on the left, and then I turned around and looked at everything on the right. And there was some like French Renaissance paintings in where the Mona Lisa is supposed to be. And oh boy, it was packed, obviously. I have my opinions. It's a very good painting to look at. It's nice, and I do like it. However, I wonder, okay, I'm pretty tall, so I could see it from the back of the pack of people. And when I got maybe to the second or third row of people from the barricade, I just like stood there and let people go in front of me because I can see it. I can see it pretty well from there. And if you get to the front of the line, because obviously everyone's trying to take selfies, everyone's going up there to take a selfie, and then they'll just kick you out. Like once you get your selfie, they just cycle through everyone. So I just stood there and let people go in front of me so I could actually look at it. I'll talk about that. I have a picture of it and some videos. I'll talk about that. But even already in the Italian Renaissance wing, the further in you got, the less people there were. Which is like, whatever. People can do what they want. And honestly, there's so much shit in there, you can't see everything. I thought I did a pretty good job of at least walking into all the rooms. But yeah, then I went through some French stuff and some American kind of. Oh man, I wish I got a picture of Victory leading the people. Oh, I wish I did. I'm still kicking myself over that. It's huge. It's very big. And then I was trying to find the northern European wing, and it was really hard to find. But I eventually found it. Obviously, there's a lot of French stuff, but eventually I found it. And there was some stuff in there that I wanted to see. A couple things. I did a lot more looking than I did picture taking. But, ooh, I liked it. I would love to go back there. I guess there's so many artifacts, too, that one country couldn't have every single one. Like, there's a remarkable amount of crap. It's crap. It's all crap. That's most archaeology, I believe, is just waste. If somebody really cared about it, it wouldn't have been. Well, maybe. I'm just thinking, like, it's all pretty much just trash dug up from the ground. Still pretty cool. I do love. A lot of it is pretty cool. I don't remember in what order I went. I think I finally finished with all the paintings as much as I could. God, there's so many. And there's some that I missed too, I think. There was a Bosch one that I saw that I kind of liked, but I didn't take a picture of. I think a lot of the Bosch that I want to see is in Prado. But yeah, I did pretty much the whole thing. And it was a Friday. And 6 p.m. rolled around and I'm like, finally, they're going to kick me out because I was hungry. I had like one waffle with a shit ton of whipped cream on top and a coffee and a Coke at noon. And my ticket was at 1:30. So I was hungry. And the museum food, I probably could have eaten there and stayed until 9 p.m. But it was expensive. I didn't want to do that. Oh, maybe I should have done that. But my feet hurt, and I had done probably like 20,000 steps in there, in the whole thing. Oh, the sculptures were good. I liked the sculptures. I have to put those pictures in, I just remembered. But yeah, I hope you enjoy my commentary, my art commentary. Fuck. I hope you enjoy my art commentary from someone who doesn't study art, but is a enjoyer of it all. Yeah. So this is me after dinner in front of the Eiffel Tower. I met someone on this app called Hostel World, and she knew Paris. So we kind of just hung out. That was fun. This is the Louvre. It's huge. Oh my God. And it's all just filled with paintings and artifacts and stuff. It was a really warm day. It was a nice day. It was very warm though. This is me walking up to the winged victory of Samothrake. I'm going to call it Samothrake. I'm pretty sure that's like politically correct. This is not the direction that they tell you to view it. They tell you to view it from 3/4 left. This is 3/4 left from the statue's perspective, not from my perspective. I don't know. I saw a video of this woman and she was like, the best to view it is from 3/4 left. But she was on her left. But then she was facing the camera, so it was her right. Anyways, I like this one because I kind of imagine being able to see her head turned that way. They also had the hand, which was huge. The hand was huge. Obviously, the entire sculpture is huge, and it's one of the popular ones, I think. There was lots of people taking pictures in front of it. Yeah, it was nice. So this is the Mona Lisa room. As you can see, it's packed. Very packed. And you can see the painting is actually quite small. It's not that big. But I like it. I like seeing it up close. It is as ethereal as you might think, but actually I feel like most Da Vinci paintings they have that sort of smoky, what do they call it, sfumato quality to them. And you know what? Sometimes I like the backgrounds more. I like the backgrounds to Da Vinci paintings, and I wish I could have gotten up closer to examine it. But yeah, it's a bit cliche. Okay, I take that back. I wish I could have gotten closer to look at her clothes and the background, but yeah, this was overall kind of enjoying to look at, despite the jostling and people not really actually looking at it and just rushing up to the front to take a selfie. Like, what are you doing here? And that's the other thing I was going to mention, is that nobody was at the very end of the Renaissance Italian wing. I just took this video because I was like, wow, these are giant and I can't even look at them. And the glare. I was very surprised to see this. If you know me, you know this guy's like kind of my mortal enemy. But yeah, I met him. This is Da Vinci's Bacchus. And if you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, this looks a lot like St. John the Baptist. Well, it is. Like I said, I just love the backgrounds in Da Vinci paintings. They're so fantastical. Like, they remind me of like a 60s, 70s fantasy cover. The figure, though, is also nice. I like how his foreleg really stands out, but then he's sort of blending into the rock behind him. He's also covering himself with furs, which I think is a St. John the Baptist thing, but they've been overpainted with those spots because he's Bacchus. He's pointing at his stick. You're going to have to look that one up. I'm not an art historian. I wish I was. I would love to give tours in the Louvre and just talk about paintings. I wish I was an art historian. I would love to do that. But yeah, the same model is used for this painting of St. John the Baptist. And now you're probably thinking, yeah, they look almost exactly the same. Even the pose, he's pointing in the same direction with his left hand. He's a little bit turned. His torso is turned a little bit farther, but he's got that same sort of creepy smile. He's holding a cross or a crucifix, whatever the hell you want to call it. He's also dressed in furs, which this painting is, once again, he's coming out of the background or blending back in. And you can't really see the furs in the photo, but looking back, they are indeed there. This is not my favorite, but this is a good one. There is really no background to speak of other than the subject coming out of the background. And obviously he's pointing towards heaven. Very androgynous as well. It's a good one. This is the Virgin of the Rocks, the Louvre version. Apparently there's one in London. This might be my favorite Da Vinci. I love the rocky background. I love their faces. I love their costume. Look at how far back the background goes. It's so immersive and it's so... I would just love to be there. Like, I would love to be in that painting, in that setting. Okay, enough about the background. The baby on your right is Christ. And under Mary's right hand is St. John the Baptist, which is Jesus' cousin. I just figured that out, so that's cool. The baby Jesus is sort of blessing John, while baby John is sort of adoring, praying towards the baby Christ. And I like it actually because the baby Christ doesn't look like an adult like he's usually depicted. Like, he actually looks like a baby, which is an interesting element. Now, this is Raphael's St. George slaying the dragon. It is tiny. I saw this painting as a picture when I was younger, and I don't know why I thought it was bigger. It's small. It's very small. And it was also displayed next to St. Michael, vanquishing Satan. Is that the motif? I think so, which is also equally small. And then there's a giant St. Michael, which I also saw, which I really liked. I loved the big St. Michael. Anyways, I love the poor girl in the background running away. I just took a picture of this because I knew it was a thing, and I'm like, wow, this is actually small. It's really small. Okay, this is a new fact about me, but I love anything to do with Saint Jerome. Anything. Especially Da Vinci's Saint Jerome, which is unfinished. I don't know what it is about these specific Jerome paintings, but they're just so evocative and so, like, it's him. You know it's Saint Jerome. It's so easily identifiable. Like, I just love Saint Jerome paintings. Now, this painting by Jacques-Louis David has to probably be my new absolute favorite. Albeit it is a copy from his studio, I think the inscription on the box is more meaningful, less poignant than simply to Marat. I should have said, this is the death of Marat, who had something to do with the French Revolution. I don't know anything about the French Revolution. All I know is that I love this painting. If I could have it, I would snap it up. I would take it. It would be in my private collection. It would be mine. And I would admire it every day. It's just so beautiful. This is a sketch by Rubens that I really, really liked, because out of all of the religious paintings and the raising of the cross, this one it just stands out. The composition is just better, in my opinion, and I wish it was not a sketch. I wish it was a full painting. I'm coming to really like Dürer, and this is one of his self-portraits. This is not my favorite, although I do actually, after seeing it, I really, really like this one. I love the thistle. Why is the thistle there? It's a different take than his other self-portrait, which I will hopefully see this weekend and that I love very much and would love to see. But yeah, this is Dürer. I'm going to keep yapping about the next clip. The next clip is in the Pantheon in Paris, which was a crypt to house dead people, and then it was a church, and then it was a crypt again. So there's a couple things going on here. The clip, I guess they play this sort of composition which was composed recently, intermittently, and then the names of people that died in the world wars are read out by a speaker. So yeah. I totally forgot to talk about this. So remember what I said before, but I'm going to talk about this first. This is another really famous Hellenistic Greek sculpture, which was found by a French guy. Well, no, he was there. It was found by a Greek farmer, but he was there. It's been in the Louvre Museum since a year after it was discovered, I think. It was nice. Not my favorite sculpture, but very good. Nice to look at, like all the Greeks. This might actually be my favorite sculpture. I remember first learning or encountering that Michelangelo when I was younger, so I knew it was a thing. I love the pose, and I love his companion too. It's displayed next to the rebellious slave, which you can even still see chisel marks on his neck of the rebellious slave. But the dying slave is just so good. If I could have that one too, I would love to have it. And to me, it's not exactly clear what he's dying of. Maybe, I don't know. It's not in the process of falling. He's not falling, but his legs are buckling and his arms are sort of positioned weird, but his legs are interesting. The thing is, his face doesn't look to be in any pain. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm not an art historian or an artist. But it's definitely one of my favorites pieces of art. Good old Michelangelo. There was a lot of 19th century paintings. I think a lot of them were on canvas, actually, mounted on canvas, but some of them may have been frescoes. This is Joan of Arc specifically, and it sort of depicts, it's like a cartoon of her life. This is St. Denis. Okay, we're moving on. This is the crypt. That's Lagrange's tomb. You can't really see that. This is Foucault's pendulum, which is actually a recreation, but it's the same experiment. It changed a few degrees, I think, while I was in there, but yeah. Okay, this is the church/tomb of the Napoleons and some other people. This thing was huge for such a short bloke. Hopefully now you can see how big it is. I kind of want to see inside it. Like, I want to look at the stuff inside, but I don't know how much that lid weighs. Or if, yeah. I also really like this painting of Napoleon, and I'm glad I got to see it. Doesn't really look, his death mask looks a little different, and he looks bigger than he probably actually was. Obviously, duh. But it's a very large very nice painting to look at. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. This is Napoleon's death mask, and we're going to stare at it while I do something of an outro. Yeah, I'm enjoying the research. I'm actually learning a lot of new techniques that I've never done before, which would be nice, which is nice. I'm excited to travel a bit more. As for book stuff, I might get something, but maybe I'll try and do a travel vlog. I wouldn't call this a vlog, I would call this a debrief. But I haven't really vlogged before, so I'll give it a try. Yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.